subtle. I'm not sponsored by Costa. Hello everybody and welcome to another video with me, Craig Bryant, and welcome to the Morrison's car park in Troon, which is in... Which Ayrshire is this? Is this South? I think this is technically South Ayrshire. It might be North Ayrshire. It's not East Ayrshire though. But welcome anyway. And we are going on 2 ferries today. We are doing something ridiculous. We're going to the Isle of Arran for a day trip. And we're going to compare the 2 routes. And I keep saying we. Here's my beautiful wife. Say hello, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, she loves it. She loves being on YouTube. She absolutely hates it. Yes, we are going for a day trip to the Isle of Arran and we're doing the 2 routes. Now, the year is 2024. If you're watching this in the future, it's no longer 2024. But in 2024, the Calmac ferries, because we've not got the Glen Sannox, the Glen Rossa, the Loch-and-Dal, the Isle of Islay, and the other 2, was it Pioneer or something? Claymore, the Lockmore, then none of them have been built yet, so we are stuck with the old ferries. The MV Caledonian Isles, the major ferry that runs the route from Ardrossan to Brodick on Arran, is in the infirmary for ferries, and so we are left with the old trooper, the MV Isle of Arran, plying the way from Ardrossan on the mainland to Brodick. And then there is the chartered MV Alfred from Pentland Ferries coming to save the day for 6 million or 9 million for 9 months, I think it is. Calmac are paying for the charter. Yes, so we're going to compare the 2 ferries. And as you know, we're in Troon, not Ardrossan, and that's the first problem. There are 2 ports now, and we are running from the more southerly port, the slightly longer route in the morning outwards. So we're going to go from Troon to Brodick on Arran on the MV Alfred, and then later on today we'll be getting the ferry back, the MV Isle of Arran, from Brodick to Ardrossan on the mainland. Please join me. We are just about to drive to the ferry terminal. Yeah, come on. There's the new sign. Well, we are here now in Troon Ferry Port, and behind me, well in the distance, you probably can't even see it on that shot, you can see it on the other shot that I've just done there. The Alfred is just getting its stern in to the berth, which is miles away. We have got quite a lot of aircraft. I think that there is the Scottish livery on a Loganair Twin Otter. It is. Can you see that? There it is there. That is just coming into Prestwick. That does sound like a Twin Otter to me. I wonder where that's come from. Has it come from Campbelltown or something like that? It seems to come in from that direction. Absolutely all go here if you're a transport nerd like me. But yes, first thoughts on Troon Harbour. Calmac have done a good job, you know, sort of brightening the place up. But the place does feel a little bit like a prison. We've got a lot of these unnecessary barbed wire fences all the way up. If you're a ferry spotter like me, I mean, I can barely see the ferry docking up there. And I think if I go up there, I feel like it's that long a walk back to where the cars are parked up, and I might end up missing my slot. So I'm just going to stay sort of here in the middle. There is the car marshalling area in the car lanes. And my beautiful wife Rachel will just videoed us driving in, so you can see what it's like coming off a roundabout. It's very easy to get to, and they've done a really good job sort of, you know, adding lots and lots of parking. We'll go and have a little look around there, but there's the big car park here. We've got a lovely marina here, which is spoiled by some barbed wire fencing.
Pretty wet. once you go, you can't get into your car. So
You can still go down now. Yeah.
Added other passenger spaces throughout the vessel, followed by one long glass position well below the vehicle deck while the vessel is on pass.
Well guys, we are just heading off from Troon now on the MV Alfred, and I've got to say this is a lovely first impression of a vessel and of the route as well. We've got glassy calm seas. I checked windy.com and it is about 2 miles an hour of wind today, so it is going to be a lovely comfortable crossing, as you can see. But yeah, just a few first impressions actually of the vessel itself. It is lovely and new. It is a lot bigger actually in person. When you see the side profile of it, it has very low windage because it's got a very sort of short and slim profile. So that means that when it's windy, this can operate in higher winds than a vessel with bigger sides. But it is massively wide. Let's just have a little look at the car deck here, because I've been showing you a little bit. But we've got absolutely tons of space for the cars here. You've got a huge stern ramp. That's another thing to say. This is not a drive-through ro-ro ferry. This is a stern loader only. So that means when you drive onto your ferry, as you've seen when we came on, you do a big loop. And I think on busier sailings, some people might have to reverse on. But inside the vessel, it is lovely and clean and new. The seating is incredibly comfortable. The windows are huge, exactly how it should be. This vessel was built in 2019 in Vietnam, actually, which is a lot different from a lot of CalMac vessels. Another big difference is this is also a catamaran, so it's got two hulls with a big gap in the middle. And some people are against catamarans for some reason. I've got no idea why. I think we all have this idea that they can't take any sort of seas. But I must say, my first impressions of this vessel on a calm day, to be fair, in May, this is absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to go and enjoy myself here. There's loads of open deck space. That's another thing to say as well. You get really good views around the vessel. You can't look forward, but who cares? You've got absolutely brilliant views. I wish more ferries had as much open deck space as this. Rachel is inside on one of the airline style seating, so I'll go and join her in a second, but I'm going to go enjoy these beautiful views as we head to Arran. It's going to be about 1 hour and 15 minutes from Troon to Brodick, the biggest town on Arran. That is about 20 minutes longer. It's a 55-minute crossing when you go from Ardrossan to Brodick. So that is, you know, one of the minor downsides of this route. But First impressions, MV Alfred, great ferry. Looking forward to this crossing. Do you think?
It's very nice, very comfortable.
Very nice, very comfortable. I'm not putting that on YouTube, It doesn't barely feel like we're moving. Lovely. Look at the sea. You can't even see it. Need to go there someday. Shortest scheduled flight in the world. There's no need for that. Scuttle ships. Well, you can't keep me inside for too long. I've just come back out on deck, and at this end of the ferry, you would be forgiven for not actually thinking you're on a ferry. I mean, obviously you are, because I'm floating on water, but there is no vibrations at all. The engines seem a mile away. Just in the distance there, we are approaching Arran, and I'm not used to approaching obviously from this direction because Ardrossan is just over there. Got some amazing skies. That's probably the rain that's just drenched us before, but Ardrossan is just over there in the far distance, and so we're sort of approaching from a southeasterly direction, heading northwest, and there you've got Goatfell and Glen Sannox and other places like that in the north of Arran that are far more mountainous than the south end. I've said this in another video, but everybody says it's Scotland in miniature. You've got the Highlands and the Lowlands, but yet we are just approaching Arran now. We've still probably got half of the journey to go, having an absolute whale of a time. In here you've got what seems to be a massive kennel full of so many dogs. It's amazing. And let's go to the rear of the vessel as well. You can see glassy calm sea, very little movement. You've got the fast craft here, fast rescue craft, and in the distance there you've got Troon, and all the way up there you've got Irvine and Saltcoats, all the way up to Ardrossan, and then in the distance there you've got Cumbria and the Isle of Bute as well. And over this direction, you just cannot beat that. I'm so used to seeing Elsa Craig. There it is, that massive granite rock sticking out there. I'm so used to seeing that from the south, from the ferries over to Northern Ireland. But that is where all of the world's curling stones are made, from that rock there. And then looking backwards, just so you can get your bearings, it's probably a little bit louder here, but you've got the two engines at the back of the vessel, and you've got, I think that's Lady Isle there just in the foreground, and you've got Air Bay all the way around to Ayr, and then goes all the way down to Girvan, and eventually Cairn Ryan and Stranraer in the distance. Joined by a beautiful wife who's been sat reading the book the whole time. I don't know why she does it. What do you think, Rick? And it's the first car alarm I've heard the whole time. It's been that calm. There is Broderick Castle as well. Right, we're back in the car and we have just arrived at the port in Brodick on Arran. Rachel, what did you make of that?
A lovely crossing.
A lovely crossing, very succinct. I totally agree. Massively impressed, actually more impressed with this ferry than I thought it was going to be. But we will compare it with the other ship doing the crossings over to Arran. The one that you've just seen, the MV Isle of Arran, will hopefully later on this evening pick us up after a lovely day on Arran. So by the magic of editing, I will see you this evening waiting to board that one. Have you ever seen anything like that? These people were all just pulling over. Well guys, we are back here in Brodick. It is, how many hours have we been here? I think we've only been here about 4 or 5 hours, haven't we? Rachel's holding the phone. I'm trying to look cool because I normally do a selfie off this. Don't get off my legs, back up here, party's up here. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the MV Isle of Arran. You can see it right in the distance. Don't try and spin around because you can't see it from here, Rachel. That's what I was going to go and say. But yes, it's a lovely, beautiful evening and we're going to just compare what the two ferries are like. I've been on this ferry before. It is 40 years old, I think, this year. It was built at Elsa Shipbuilding and, or was it Ferguson's? It might have been Ferguson's, one of them anyway. It's built in Glasgow in 1984, so that'll be 40 years old. But it is a beautiful evening. We're just going to enjoy this and wait for our ferry back to the mainland, back over here, and back. We're going to go to Ardrossan this time, not to Troon. Derby derb, derby derb. Say cheese. Cheese. It's another video. Here it comes. I can't do it.
Areas where food and drink is served are advised to stay with the dogs, keep them calm and quiet and restrained by a harness or collar and lead.
Well, here we are aboard the beautiful old trooper that is the MV Isle of Arran, the namesake for the island that we've spent the last probably 5 or 6 hours that we've been on the island. But yes, we are just steaming away into the lovely, let's say, late spring evening. That's the best thing about being this far north. I'm from Newcastle, so it's sort of the same. Lovely long evenings. We'll be getting in probably about 8:15 p.m. into Ardrossan, and you would think it was just like the afternoon. It's absolutely lovely, beautiful, beautiful skies, even with a bit of rain and a lot of cloud as well. But yeah, the differences are immediate. I will do a proper summary, so just wait till the end of the video. I'll do a proper summary of the pros and cons of both, because there are pros and cons. But just initial reactions when you've been on the Alfred before is that, firstly, I'll start with some positives. This one looks like a proper ferry. To me, if I was going to draw a ferry, the ones that I remember when I was a kid, this here is your quintessential ferry. It is a lovely looking, I know some people might not think so, but it's a lovely looking ferry. It's got ample outdoor seating. Look at this. I'm on, now I know it was an earlier sail. I was on the sort of midday sailing today on the Alfred, and it was pretty busy outside. But this one here has got loads of outdoor spaces and has a bow outdoor space. Unbelievable. They're so rare. I've done a full video on the MV Caledonian Isles, which normally runs this, and I did it sort of a shortish video the first time I was on this ferry, but I didn't do a proper one because I didn't know how to do YouTube videos. I still don't. But this one has a lot of outdoor space, forward and aft. Forward and looking backwards, basically. And I've got this whole deck, this whole outdoor deck to myself. There are lots of little layers of it. There's some on the side, there's some on different levels, and we've got a lovely mast, big yellow mast. And just look at that. That is absolutely beautiful as we steam out from Brodick, just there in the background. The mountains just hidden away by the clouds as we head out to sea on an unbelievable, I cannot tell you, for Scotland, that is glassy calm. That is as calm as it's going to get. Yeah, other positives. This has a cafe. Now, I did notice on the Alfred, there was sort of like a hatch where a cafe should be, and could somebody tell me, when it's running for Pentland Ferries, if it ever has run for Pentland Ferries properly, it was literally in like sort of in service, and then COVID happened, and then it's been chartered to Calmac. But this has a proper mariner's cafe. I mean, you get Calmac and cheese, you get burgers on board here, which is absolutely, I don't think you get burgers actually with Calmac. I think you get fish and chips and Calmac and cheese. So anyway, yes, we've got a proper ferry, lots of outdoor spaces. I'm being joined here, so I'm running away from other people. We've got lots of outdoor spaces. Now, some cons. It's very old and it's very noticeable, the difference. This ferry should be at least the secondary ferry on a route like this, but due to mechanical issues with the Caledonian Isles, the Cali Isles, and due to obviously the massive delay with the Glen Sannox and the Glen Rosa, this is sort of took on the role of the main ferry. I'm not sure, but there was no HGVs, and I've heard that no HGVs were allowed on the Alfred. So it seems like this one is carrying all of the HGVs, as well as, you know, there's a lot of traffic today. The ferries have been really full. It's a May bank holiday weekend. There's a lot of, you know, camper vans, motorhomes. In fact, we've left 5 minutes late because something went on with one of the cars and a motorhome coming off it, and I thought, oh, we're going to get stuck. Oh, last call for the cafeteria. So you don't get on the Alfred because it doesn't have a cafeteria. But yes, I'm going to just enjoy this, not make this video far too long, sorry, with these pieces to camera. I'm going to enjoy it, do some videos, I'll do a bit of a tour as well, a silent tour, and then I'll sum up my thoughts when we get off the ferry on the other side at Ardrossan. Right, let's go for a tour. I'll have to do this subtly by holding my camera really low. I don't have a GoPro, so I'll do this subtly because there's loads of people downstairs. Right. Cheers. It's too hot. It's too hot. I'm not drinking it. Well, we're about 15 minutes away from Ardrossan and it is a beautiful evening. There, click on the screen and that'll make you be able to see a little bit more of what it actually looks like. It is a gorgeous evening looking back out at Arran, but the reason I've got my hood up is because it's absolutely minging the way we're going. Absolutely minging. So I'm going to go and stand at the front, the bow viewing area, and hopefully be able to spot Ardrossan and just enjoy the rest of this journey. Right, we're here on the bow of the ship, and in the gloomy and misty conditions, you can see in the distance there, we've just got some of the harbour walls at Ardrossan. Now it does feel significant. I know it is quicker, but it feels quicker as well. That was only, it's only about 45 minutes at this point, 50 minutes, and it should take, well, 45 minutes, and it should be a 55-minute crossing actually. So, just waiting for the light to appear in the distance. That sort of guides if the ferry is too far to the port, too far to the starboard, or right on track. So there's a really bright, in fact, I don't know if you can see it right there in the distance, it's a bit red now, and so that guides the ferry through the very, very narrow gap that you can probably see behind me. I'll do a better shot, but I'm just going to watch that, and then the ferry takes a hard right turn and onto the berth at Ardrossan. Well, here is my final thoughts of those two trips. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. They had an absolute class day. That is like generally been one of the best days. Like if I could pick a perfect day, it would be something like that. So comparing the ferries, let's do some pros and cons for them. So firstly, the MV Alfred of Pentland Ferries on charter to Calmac, Troon to Brodick. Brilliant ferry, actually surpassed all of the expectations that I had for it. I was sort of expecting, when people said, oh, it doesn't have a cafe in that, I was expecting the passenger facilities to be much worse, but actually there's tons of seating, really comfortable seating, loads of table seating as well, loads of PowerPoints and things like that. I mean, like plugs, not like a PowerPoint, you know. And I just thought it was a really nice ferry, really, really new, really up to date, and well looked after, really nice staff on it as well. And the outdoor areas, again, I was sort of expecting, the whole ferry itself was a lot bigger feel like it's a lot wider. It's like a lot fatter than the Isle of Arran and what I was expecting. So there was a lot more space on either side of the catamaran. It wasn't just like a thin walkway, which is what I was expecting for some reason. So yeah, really pleasantly surprised by that. So really nice vessel overall, loads of capacity for it. You know, loads of car space, loads of passenger space actually, and again that sort of surprised me. Some downsides, slightly longer crossing. Troon Port doesn't have a rail link directly, but they do have a shuttle bus, which is great, to Troon Port, which is, I think it's like a 2 or 3 minute bus journey. Compare that to Ardrossan, which actually has the train station is at the ferry terminal. And they do have a new bus that started last week, I think, by CityLink, Scottish CityLink, that goes from Glasgow Buchanan bus station all the way to the drop-off point at I think we saw it when we were boarding. Other downsides, it doesn't have a cafe open, so you can't get hot meals. Actually, the vending machine was empty on it as well, so that you couldn't get anything on board. And it just has stern loading, so it makes it a little bit slower. Again, also because it's a Troon, it's a slower sort of turnover process because the link span is so far away from the actual car lanes when you're lining up. And it's a slightly longer crossing by 20 minutes, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, 20 minutes longer on a ferry for me, absolutely happy days. I think Troon Port is perfectly nice. It's actually probably nicer than Ardrossan at the minute. I might have shown it earlier in the video. I've not edited this yet, obviously. But in the papers today's papers of Ayrshire are talking about there's going to be an imminent decision made on Ardrossan Harbour. Is it going to get upgraded, or are they just going to scrap that, and are they actually going to start running from Troon for the foreseeable? I think based on what the sort of papers were saying, it sort of looks like the Scottish Government politically are going to say yes to that being upgraded. But the Irish berth is still condemned there, and it is a really tight harbour as well. So it'd be sad. Honestly, I thought Troon was pretty nice, so it'd be sad to see that sort of get only used temporarily. They need to reinstate some Northern Irish ferries from there, like the good old days to Lawn Troon with P&O ferries. Anyway, I need to be quicker with these videos. Honestly, I know you get bored at this point. I've seen the figures, guys. I know you get bored. There's only about two people watching at this point, and one of them is me. So, compare that to the MV Isle of Arran. So that was our return journey from Brodick to Ardrossan this time. Shorter, so positives. Shorter ferry crossing, it was only 55 minutes compared to 1 hour and 15 minutes. Other positives, has a cafeteria on board, and it's just a cool old ferry, 40 years old, and that's probably going to be its downside as well. It's an old ferry, it's really showing its age, but I sort of love that. Massive positive. Bow, you can literally see over the bow, absolutely amazing. Outdoor seating areas, brilliant on that ferry, loads of variety, and also has a little bar/shop, and you can get teas and coffees from there as well. Downsides, it's very old and needs replacing, and capacity wise isn't fit for purpose, I think, at the minute. You can even see the sort of lanes that are drawn on the floor in there was for cars. Cars are much wider these days and much longer in general, because everybody drives SUVs, isn't it? That's why. So they just need more capacity, but it's on its way. The Glen Sanics, surely at the end, when you're watching this video, it's very likely that this route has changed a lot. So I hope this is just a nice little snapshot in time. What was 2024, the summer of, like, when the Caledonian Isles was absolutely done in and in the workshop, and when the Isle of Arran had to take over and the Alfred got moved to Troon. This is what it was like, and it's been a great day still. But I'm sure the people of Arran, the businesses that have been affected by the uncertainty and by the massive lengthy, I know everybody's gone on about this, but what's happened with Ferguson's and the sort of palaver with the Glen Sanics and the Glen Rossa has really affected the island. It got no two ways about it, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm looking forward to coming back to Arran and hopefully trying out those new ferries. If you've liked this video, you're an absolute weirdo, but if you are a weirdo, you might like more of my videos. Please subscribe. It's absolutely free. Click the subscribe button just below the video and give it a like as well. That just helps more people see these, apparently. But yes, I don't do it for the likes or the subs, but it would be helpful, because if I get to 1,000 subscribers, then we're going to start making tiny amounts of money, i.e. I can just reinvest the money into actually doing more videos. That would be amazing. So yes, I'm really hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the end of 2024, but we'll see. For that to happen, share it to your friends, give it a like and subscribe, and even drop a comment as well. That'd be great. Thanks for watching. See you later.